for his students, and Sahas is one among the many. Sahas is a commitment for the deserving students of IIHM for guiding them, motivating them, counseling them to become as a young entrepreneurs. Most importantly, highly reputed and leading entrepreneurs have associated with Sahas Hyderabad as an external advisory board members along with IHM internal self-faculty mentors. As we are launching this program today in Hyderabad, Sahas will work closely with our students to encourage their hidden entrepreneurial skills. And also, it is another milestone which we started under the flagship of IIHM. I'm really thankful to our chief mentor to start up a program like Sahas at this point of time where we need to initiate self-reliant India. Dear students, IIHM is opening its wings globally to make sure students' learning and developing skills are not limited only in classrooms. This is extremely for every one of you to build up your skills and getting more exposure, learning, guidance, and detailed knowledge about entrepreneurship. Sahas will stand with you. Sahas shall lead you to become speculators and tycoons in the society. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. Not waiting furthermore, I would like to call upon a most important person of the day, a man who behind this Sahas, the visionary who always thinks new innovative ideas for the benefit of our students, and he makes sure that the ideas are happening. He dreamed about the Sahas long time back, and now it is happening live, which we are all witnessing it today evening. We are all at IIHM learning for making impossible things into possible under the guidance of him. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call Dr. Subarna Bose, the chairman and the chief mentor of IIHM Hotel Schools and CEO of IndiSmart Global Private Limited to come and launch Sahas Hyderabad officially. Over to you, Dr. Bose.
Yeah, very good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, great, fantastic. You got some problem with my computer, so thanks for being here on the great release of the Hyderabad chapter of our IHM Entrepreneurship Cell, which we call Sahas. And this is a very ambitious project of the entire IHM group. And every campus is having its own entrepreneurship cell. And I'm so happy, privileged, honored, and delighted that today we are inaugurating and unveiling the IIHM Hyderabad cell, the entrepreneurship cell, which is called Sahas. Sahas means courage. And today we're up here to make sure that in this pandemic and challenging times that we have got enough courage to come up with something valuable, something special, and something that will help our student in the, not just for this year, but for years and years to come. And so Sahas is a great commitment from all of us, of all the members of the IHM Hotel School, all the 10 campuses in India and abroad. So it is a huge commitment. As we always say, Sahas is not an statement. Sahas is not even an venture, but Sahas is a commitment. It's a promise. It's a huge dare to do initiative from IIHM to make sure that we deliver once again. At tough times, tough people only survive. And we want to show again to the world that we are here to come with something very, very special. The entrepreneurs of tomorrow would be breeded in the IHM hotel schools in all campus and in Hyderabad. So what's happening right now, we are going through challenging time, and possibly this is the best opportunity for all of us to launch this entrepreneurship program. And first of all, we need a lot of young people to come and become entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is a need of the hour. Although a lot of students will still be working in the hotels, restaurants, pubs, and cruise lines, aviation, but we also want a lot of them to come and show courage to become entrepreneur. And we are there to guide them, to handhold them, to show them the path, but the idea will be theirs. So we are very happy to announce that we have already started Sahas with a corpus of 1 crore from the house of IIHM, and we want to add on 4 crores to make it 5 crores in the next 6 months. And then we want an external funding, and we are talking with people to make it 25 crore. So within 1 year, we should be sitting on a corpus of 25 crore of funding for our students, for the present student, but also the past students, those who wants to come back to us, and we are there to handhold the past students as well. So Sahas is a huge commitment, and Sahas is much more than corpus fund. Sahas is showing them the way that jobs are not to be made only in the as an employee, but you can become a job creator, you can become a job giver instead of just becoming a job seeker. So in the new self-reliant India, I think what we have done at IHM is to meet our student, is to create a band of students who are self-reliant and who in tough times like this do not depend upon the general industrial trend, but they still have got the entrepreneur zeal and courage to become businessmen in their own right. So talking about entrepreneurs, I've been doing this for 31 years, 33 years actually, much before I started IIM and IHM. And it is not always easy. It's easy said than done. But again, it is also something which is not doable. It is very much doable. And we have seen in the past how passionate people like Ritesh Agarwal created Oyo rooms. We have got thousands of examples of young people who are not even 30 years old. They have created huge empire. But then I will tell that we should not really look always for huge empire. We should look for small things to start with. Like every drop is important to make an ocean. It's very important for our students to understand we should start small and nice and then grow. We'll handhold them, we'll support them, we'll guide them, and we'll connect them with the important people. We'll connect them with the PE fund managers, we'll connect them with the VC fund managers, we'll connect them with the bankers, and we will make sure that at least the project sees the light of the day. There are failures and there are success. I mean, we cannot say that every enterprise in the world is a success. But then we have to have the courage to walk the road. And then even if you get a 40%, 30% success rate, I think that's a huge achievement for us. Because if somebody fails, we don't say it's a failure. We only say that it's one step of learning. The other day, one of our alumni talking on Delhi Sahas even was mentioning that a failure is not a failure per se. A failure is a feedback. And what beautifully put in. A failure is a feedback that you again get up and shout out why you fell and start working again. So I think with that, a kind of a passion and extreme hard work, infectious enthusiasm, I'm sure that we have got full bunch of young people out here. And it's the young people who are the future. It's the young people who are our next bunch of India. And it's the young people who will take the country and themselves ahead. So young people are very important for all of us. So our student, the young people of 21 years, 22 years, they are the future, not just for the industry, but also future for the country. And for them, IHM stands fully committed today. As we talk, we stand fully committed, not just in funding, but in actually mentoring them, guiding them, making sure that they are the people will get all kinds of assistance, all kind of mentorship from all of us and our advisory board, which I'm so happy to see such an fantastic, incredible advisory board in Hyderabad, who will meet once in a while every month and will guide them, show them the path. If there is a struggle, if there is a roadblock, if there is a problem, we will try help them out to sort out and come out of the problem and a roadblock. And that's the commitment that we all make. It's a dream that all of us have seen together. And we don't want to really stop at the dream, because we need to really dare to do and not dare to dream only, because dreaming can be done. We'll only dream in the sleep, as we all know that we can only dream in the sleep. But what we need to do, our student, not just to dream, but after dreaming, to execute it. The important keyword, I think, is execution. And that is the main lifeline, how you execute a great idea. I mean, I've been told many years back when I just passed my chartered accountancy, and I was just about 22.5 years old. And one of my mentors told me that you are going to be an entrepreneur. I said, yes, sir. And he said, I tell you something, when an event and an idea is translated into an invoice, that is business. So I think that we all need to understand an idea is great, but when an idea is converted into an invoice, what we get is business. What we get is entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship means a lot and lot of hard work. Entrepreneurship is not 12 hours. It is not 18 hours. It is 24 hours. Whether it's sleeping or waking, you are already always absolutely infectiously attached with your project. It is called you are obsessed with your project. You're absolutely obsessed with your business, that you can't think anything apart from it. The focus is so much that, I mean, you kind of eat it, sleep it, dream it, and just live your dreams. And living your dream means doing your dreams, because you cannot live your dream unless you do your dream. And in doing your dream, you need to get the dare to do. You need to get the courage. You need to have that little bit of a extraordinary that will make you apart from the ordinary people. So we always say in IHM that extraordinary is extra plus ordinary. And again today, I repeat it, you need to add that extra in front of the ordinary to become an extraordinary entrepreneur. Because it's also about huge obsessed with passion. It's all about absolute hard work and total focus about making yourself successful. Being successful is a very happy ending, but then success is always a journey. It's never been a destination. So it will fall and fall and fall, and after many falls will success. I mean, it's not. And so don't expect a bed of roses, because it will fall. But important thing is not falling down. Important thing is falling down and getting up and start working, and again falling and getting up, and then sorting out the issue and getting the thing sorted out and get the invoices done. I think it's very important that encouraging entrepreneurship has been our tagline, encouraging entrepreneurship, and we have added one E in after courage in encourage the word. If you see our creative encouragement and encouraging, we have added courage inside the word encourage. So the word courage is the key word. The word courage is what we all stand for. And with this passion, with this kind of courage, with this kind of sahas, I'm sure that anybody who has got that passion would become 100% successful. It may take time. Somebody can take 6 months, somebody can take 6 years, but no one can stop one person from becoming successful if with a little bit of luck, of course. If you have got that passion and that infectious enthusiasm and hard work and that total focus to become successful, I don't think even God can stop you. So it's such a great pleasure for me today on the 17th of June to declare and unveil the Sahas Hyderabad chapter, open and release this new venture for IHM in a big way. And I'm so thankful and grateful to the advisory committee members who has all come forward in spite of their busy business commitments. And I'm sure that this evolving process, I'm sure will add on more advisors, will add on more PE fund managers, will add on more bankers, and we'll have a big advisory committee with different kinds of expertise so that our students get highest kind of expert knowledge from all our advisory committee friends. So with that, I wish the Hyderabad chapter of Sahas all the very best. And I wish all the faculty member at IHM Hyderabad, all the community together, the dream which we have seen together to make it a reality. It's very important that we are also should be as mad as a student. It really needs a maddening, infectious nature to become success. You really need to be a mad person. And there would be people who would be telling a lot of things, but you need to really get your blinkers and just go and look for your successful, focus on your success, focus on your enterprise. And if that means that people call you a madman, so be it, because only the mad people can become big entrepreneurs, because this is a difficult journey. This is not an easy journey, and you need a lot of madness to push you through the difficult times like now. So I wish everybody all the very best, and I'm sure that under the able leadership of Emmanuel, the team Hyderabad, each one of the members are important, will support this with full commitment and will make Sahas one of the biggest initiative of IHM in not only just in a country, but in the entire hospitality ecosystem in the entire world. So with that, my honor, my privilege to inaugurate Sahas Hyderabad chapter today, and best of luck. Congratulations to all the members of staff of Hyderabad and all the advisory committee friends. Thank you very much for listening to me and for your patience. And it's a great day. It's a big day for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bose, for launching Saharas in Hyderabad chapter. And thank you so much for all the motivating and inspiring words. It always so great to hear from you. So moving to next, it is my immense pleasure to introduce the advisory board members of Sahas Hyderabad to everyone. I express my sense of gratitude to all the board members of Sahas Hyderabad chapter for accepting our invitations and joining with us today. So moving to the next, I would like to call the first person. I would like to introduce the leading culinarian, Chef Chalapati Rao, the cuisine designer and partner of Simply South Restaurants. He is the man who behind success of Dakshin Restaurants of ITC Hotels, a great motivator and role model for many young culinary aspirants. I call Chef Chalapati Rao to talk few words about the transformation from chef to entrepreneur and few words about Saha's initiative by IIHM. Chef, over to you, Chef.
Yeah, thanks, Ernest. Am I audible?
Yes, Chef.
Yeah. First of all, let me congratulate IIHM Hyderabad and IIHM fraternity as a whole for creating something like this. During my days when I studied, there was hardly anything of this sort where college used to support somebody who has a dream to be an entrepreneur. Listening to Dr. Bose, he has given great insights that you as an organization are planning to have a purpose fund to help your students or alumni to set up and work on their dreams and to do what they feel is right. As he rightly, Dr. Bose rightly put across, saying that people might call you mad, but that is what drives you to become the best entrepreneur. To begin with, let me tell you, all of us nurture a dream to own something of ourselves. Okay, from any industry, it's not necessary. It has to be a hospitality industry. But since we have that dream, as Dr. Bose said, passion to drive that dream and translate, as he said, into an invoice is what makes an entrepreneur. There is no shortcut to success. You need to slog it out. There is no off day for you. As he said, if you're working, you might get an off day. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're on the job 24/7. Believe me, it's a great fun to be an entrepreneur. Irrespective of you have the experience of hotel industry or not, if you're in hospitality. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who have no background per se from the hospitality, but they still enjoy and thrive being an entrepreneur in hospitality industry. What it shows you need to have the burning desire to be successful. It shows you have to have the passion to drive your dream and achieve what you want. On the way to achieve your dream, there'll be a lot of people who will guide you, who will advise you, who will say this is right, this is wrong. You need to listen to everybody, but you have to follow your passion and dream. That's when you achieve your ultimate goal. And believe me, it is not easy to be entrepreneur, as Dr. Bose said. There is no off day for me. When I'm in the city, all 7 days I go to work. So there is no shortcut if you want to, or if you say feel that okay, somebody will, do a proxy for me. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to dream, you need to sleep, you need to eat everything. If you are an entrepreneur, I'll tell you a small incident which happened with me. When I was planning to be an entrepreneur, I met one of my entrepreneur friend. He told me one thing, and he gave me a small book to read on entrepreneurship and kinds and what usually people commit mistakes when we are opening a restaurant and things like that. He said, first read this book and then you give me a call. I read his book, that book, and I gave him a call. He said, I've been an entrepreneur for the last 20 years. If you're an entrepreneur, there will be days when you will not have even 10 rupees in your wallet, but there will be days when your wallet is loaded. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. You should be mentally be prepared to go through all this if you want to achieve something in life. So first of all, we need to have that discipline. We need to have that burning desire, as I call it, passion, to achieve something. For that, even if we have to go through hardships, we don't mind going through that hardships. Is what is important in being an entrepreneur. And in any industry or any line, any field, nothing comes easily. You need to work for it. You need to slog for it. You need to spend hours together. And Dr. Bose rightly put it up, like it's not a 9-hour job or a 10-hour job. It is 24/7 job. The biggest thing what we need to understand if you're an entrepreneur is, if you're working in a hotel, I'll give you a small example. If you're walk-in or a chiller, conked off, you will pick up the phone and call for the maintenance guy to do it. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to do everything yourself. You're the valet till You are the F&B manager, you are the chef, you are the purchase guy, you are the accounts guy, you are the security guy, everything. So that's what you need to adopt and get into each role if you want to be an entrepreneur. It might sound very difficult, but believe me, once you take up the journey, it is fun. It is not a straight line. It is always a roller coaster ride if you are an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs think little differently. I'll state with examples. I'll come back to Simply South. When Simply South was being launched, we have done various surveys and things like that. With due respects to everybody, we saw people claiming to be a South Indian restaurant, but first 2 pages of the menu was only South Indian restaurant. They were having only South Indian dishes. After that, they were having Indian dishes and then Chinese dishes. I completely understand it is a market-driven industry. So as per their market and their location, they would have done that. I completely agree with them. But the other side of it, we thought of a concept. We said we will not even have paneer on the menu. And our menu still doesn't have paneer. We thought if we are building a concept, we should connect it with our grandmothers and our older generation. And it's always a pleasure when I see, I've seen it with my own eyes when a 90-year-old gentleman came with his son and grandsons and etc. and dining in the restaurant. That's the kind of satisfaction you get when you're an entrepreneur. When you're working for somebody, yes, I'm not saying you don't get satisfaction, but that's the kind of, the glow or the thrill when we see people eating and enjoying. That's the satisfaction what you get. See, as I always believe, success and money will follow. If you follow your passion and if you have faith in what you are doing, in the concept, as I said, I just gave an example, you have to wait. You should be patient enough to deal with things. There'll be ups and downs. Like we never expected something like this, what we are undergoing right now. And it's a very big challenge for everybody. Okay. But we need to face it. We need to come out of it. And we need to think out of the box. How do we come out of these challenges? That's how we need to work as entrepreneur also. We need to keep thinking, okay, I've done this, what next? What I should do to, take it a notch higher. So these are the things you should start thinking, working and all. And there is no, again, I keep telling this, there is no shortcut. You have to go through the grind to understand what entrepreneurship is all about. So when you're getting it into entrepreneurship, you be prepared that, yes, I need to do this. I need to do so many sacrifices. I need to be prepared for it. And then mentally prepare yourself to get into it. That's how you can move forward in life. And believe me, entrepreneurship gives you that freedom to do a lot of things. What if you are a job seeker or working for an organization might not give you? Because most of the organizations have their own standard operating procedures or the protocols what they follow. You might be doing something is there, but you are bound to do what they have told you to do. But if you're an entrepreneur, there is no stopping for it. If you got a great idea, please go ahead and implement it. So that freedom of being yourself, the freedom of being what you are, is what entrepreneurship gives you. Which might not be if you're working for somebody, is what my take is all about. And entrepreneurship is a beautiful journey. I would urge people to take up this. Yes, any industry, any field, even if you join initially any hotel or anything, there'll be challenges. Be prepared to go through it. Take up the entrepreneurship. You will enjoy. You might have to struggle. I'll give you examples. There are certain outlets of mine, as Dr. Bose put it rightly. In 3 months' time, they have turned. I didn't have to put money. They were self-sustaining, but they were certain units of mine Even after 1.5 years, they were not self-sustaining. So I'm just trying to give this example because you need to be mentally prepared, because I believe in the concept. I believe that, whatever I'm doing is right. I had a dream that I want to do this. I pursued it in spite of it was not self-sustaining for 1.5 years. So these challenges you will come across, you have to take them with a pinch of salt and try to think differently and do things differently. Yeah, Anas.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chef, for such a lovely words. I know you are very busy today. So thank you so much for joining with us from Bangalore.
It's always a pleasure, Ernest, and it's always a pleasure to talk to youngsters who have the dream to come up and do something. Anytime, I'm more than happy to help them out, mentor them, guide them. Always a pleasure to talk to youngsters, because uh, there are a lot of times they have brilliant ideas which we don't even think on those lines, you know. So it's always a learning when you talk to youngsters. This is what I look at it. So it's always a fun to deal with them and talk to them.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Dr. Bose. It was great listening to you, and uh, I respect the
Thank you.
vision what you have. Uh, in a small way, whatever as advisory committee or member of Sahas, whatever we can do a little bit, we are more than happy to do and guide the youngsters. That's what the future is all about now. They have to take this forward, and they have to drive this, is what I feel, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your commitment. Thank you so much.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Chef, and thank you, Dr. Bose. So moving to the next advisory board member, let me introduce Ms. Sirisha Gondi, the co-founder of Wublo Online Concierge Services. She is a part of WeHub, which is an incubation center for young entrepreneurship initiated by Telangana government. And also, she is the chief mentor of the Girl NGO, which is helping young girl entrepreneurs. I call Ms. Sirisha to talk few words about entrepreneurship and also about Saka's initiative by IHM. Over to you, Ms. Sirisha.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. First of all, congratulations to IIHM Hyderabad for this amazing initiative. And I was very, very inspired by Dr. Bose's conversation. And knowing that the cell, with the entrepreneurship cell, is already starting with funds is like so exciting for me, because as a startup owner, I know finding funds is the biggest job after having an idea. So all the best to all the students who are listening to this wonderful news from Dr. Bose, and the vision that the entire leadership team has for you guys. It's amazing. So please, I think, you guys are so lucky that you have this kind of, management who wants to do so much, and they've already identified funds and looking at future funds. So I would say you guys are extremely lucky. Each student who's in this call is absolutely lucky to be part of IIHM. And as an entrepreneur, I totally believe and resonate with Chef Chalupati Rao. It is a beautiful journey and it is a roller coaster. I mostly say it's a roller coaster without a safety belt. So you don't know if you will fall or you will stay through by the time you complete the ride. So yeah, it is very exciting that even through times like COVID, the institute is trying to find opportunities to ignite minds to, help them think beyond, because, entrepreneurship is not about, just selling a product. It's about, taking a different path. It's like you're willing to be in that lonely path. A lot of times you feel like, oh my God, is this really what I want? It's so easy to just, find a job, get that check, wake up, have fun on a weekend. Why am I this? This is something that'll keep coming back to you. But when you start seeing even the tiniest ways when your customers are happy, or when you see that your dream is coming true, and you have people who say, hey, I've seen that ad, was it that same ad, Bublu? And that happiness, that yes, I am in this right path. So you have your good days and bad days, but trust me, the journey is what that matters. And I actually wrote 10 points. I thought maybe, some easier ways to remember. So if you are an entrepreneur, I think taking a different path will be your number one. So like Dr. Bose said, people are going to say, oh, this guy is mad, or this person is totally lost it. Why are they in this path? When everybody is going left, they want to go right. So that's your first thing. It's a sign that you're thinking like an entrepreneur. And then sticking with the challenges. It's not going to be easy, You're going to think that, oh, tomorrow I have this amazing smoothie. They're going to love it. And everybody's going to be like, it's the worst one I've had. So, I just said food as an example because I know I'm in the hospitality, but it could mean to anything and everything. And taking that as an example, Bublu's first project was concierge service for the elderly, but the app really didn't do very well. And we had to pivot, 6 months in the business. And I know that this is not happening, And the most important thing is, yeah, people love my business, but they don't want to pay for it. There is a lot of times you end up thinking this business is a great business, and it could really be, but you could be in a wrong place, or you could be in a wrong time, and people are not willing to share their wallet. The minute they're not willing to share their wallet, you can't sustain, and the smartest entrepreneur has to pivot. And, that is why you need to be with the challenges, but also know that you have to not be emotionally attached to your business, and be logical with it, and, move out of it if the challenges are giving you clues. The third is, the biggest problem, instant gratification. This generation is all about things to be done like this. But in entrepreneurship, there is nothing called instant gratification. We have to work hard, keep trying multiple ways to make it happen, and, be okay knowing that, yes, I will be gratified, but it is going to take, like how a baby takes 9 months to come out for the parents to be gratified. Entrepreneurship journey takes time. So just be patient with it. Learn to manage your finances and learn to raise your funds. I know Mr. Bose was extremely kind to announce that he's already arranging funds, but I don't think you should take it so easily. Learn to raise your fund. To get that 1 rupee, you should be worth it. Somebody should say, I want to bet that 1 rupee on this person. So prove your worth for it. Volunteer to lead. Until you lead, you will never know how good a leader you are. And to be an entrepreneur, it's really important to lead, because only when you lead, you learn to execute. You learn to do beyond what is your job. It's always easy to do what's your job. But when you're trying to do other people's job, that's when you really know if you are a leader or not. And like, Chef Chalapati said, today you could be sweeping, tomorrow you could be paying bill, and, day after tomorrow you could be chilling. But day after that, you could come back to sweeping. You never know. So just be prepared for it, that, the change is something that's evolving. And then learn to communicate. Many a times in today's students, I see that they want to communicate what they want to communicate. But in communication, it's really important to understand what the opposite person wants to hear from you, Are you willing to communicate what they want to hear from you? Are you willing to close loop something that you understand what they want and still kind of put through your words to them? Close looping that communication is a very important skill for an entrepreneur. And find a mentor. Again, I think you guys are very lucky here. They are doing, the IHM leadership is doing the job already and making it easy for all of you. They're already identifying mentors in multiple fields, people who have been in the industry of hospitality, people who have, completely made businesses in hospitality, or people like me who have zero to do with hospitality, but maybe something to do with entrepreneurship, but multiple kind of people. They're like hand picking them for you. So now it becomes your responsibility to understand, I have a business plan, so I need to talk. So in your communication, you need to know that when you have a business plan, maybe it's not concrete on day one, but be open to talk about it. And a lot of times when we have an idea, we assume that eureka, nobody in the world has that idea. But most of the ideas are already available. Maybe somebody, always good to talk and get more inputs on how you can make that idea a better thing. Sometimes you are looking at ideas that are existing, but with situations like COVID, where everything is changed, how many people assume that suddenly everybody will be doing things on online? Schooling will change and kids will be actually adapting to education system online, and every day they have classes online. So though it is, Zoom has been there always, classrooms have been there always, but the way we're adapting to it is drastically different. So times are always changing. So same ideas can be innovatively used into entrepreneurship. And then if you have an opportunity to hang out with people who are in entrepreneur journey or businesses or the small businesses, anything, if you have an opportunity, have that open mind to ask questions, learn. And the last tip is, however years of experience or no experience, the learning never stops. I am very positive that every conversation I have something to take away, whether they are a 5-year-old or a 50-year-old. We always have this opportunity to share knowledge. So these are the only 10 tips I had for you guys today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sirisha, for all the lovely points. Thank you so much for joining with us today. And
It's my
we're looking
pleasure.
forward.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And congratulations again to all of you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we will move to the next speaker. I would like to call Mr. Kumar Krishna, the CEO of Istara, a luxury co-living, a man with 24 years of experience in hospitality industry and worked with various world-renowned properties. He started innovative concept of co-living by Istara and became a trendsetter in lodging industry, and now is aiming to claim more than 10,000 beds across pan-India. I call Mr. Kumar to share the idea behind Istara and also a few words about Sahas initiative by IHM. Over to you, Mr. Kumar.
Thank you, Ernest. It's great to be here. Firstly, I must say hats off to Dr. Bose. Such a noble thought. The Sahas actually, to me, comes from Dr. Bose. You must have the guts to dream. When you have the guts to dream, the dream turns into reality. So hats off to you, Dr. Bose. And I think just the whole fact of trying to put a program together requires conviction and guts. And I think I see somebody who's got such a high stature because of that. So, congratulations to IHM chapter. I guess you guys are really fortunate. The students who are listening to this today, I think you're actually in an era which is you're very fortunate to be handheld in business startups and in ideating process. I think the other panelists as well spoke about quite a lot of entrepreneurship. I'm not sure if I'm going to add great value in bringing something else, but I'll give my 2 cents thought of it as well. Fundamentally, I think as Istara, I think we started off as a 100-bed company in Hyderabad. I was a general manager of Radisson. This whole ideating process happened when I was in Kuala Lumpur. We said, why don't we look at young zillennials and millennials and do something for them? So the 100-bed story started off 3.5 years ago. And we suddenly find ourselves as a very responsible co-living company with nearly about 10,000 beds that we manage across 4 cities. And it's been a fantastic roller coaster ride. And I think the other panelists summed it up very well. A roller coaster never goes in one direction. Roller coaster always is in different directions. And the best thing about a roller coaster is that it has surprises for you. And that surprise quotient is the excitement. If there was no surprise, there's no excitement. And entrepreneurship is very similar. You see a lot of surprises, a lot of it that you want to avoid, but a lot of it you enjoy when the ride is over. You never enjoy it when you're actually scared. You always come to the end and say, wow, what a ride. You never say, wow, what a ride during the journey. So I guess, that's a very interesting aspect about it. So today in hospitality, it's a very interesting time. I think COVID has opened the doors for two different aspects of businesses. One point of thought process is about what the crisis that has brought to the industry. But as entrepreneurs, we always find a silver lining in everything. We are resilient characters who basically say we find an opportunity in every calamity. And I think that's something which we always pride on as entrepreneurs, to say, if you have anything thrown at you, see what best you can do with it. I think as hospitality, the best part that's happened with COVID is basically the market correction. I think in a lot of industries, there's quite a lot of correction in the market which is happening. And I think that's purely to the advantage of the future entrepreneurs. I think what it has thrown today is basically new ways of working. I think it allows you to go beyond what has been thought so far. And if you look at hospitality in general, there's been very little disruptions in the last 50 years, apart from a very small experiment which Oyo did or which Airbnb did. Apart from that, the brick and mortar business of hospitality, by and large, has not been fragmented or disrupted in a way that we would have, which also could be one of the reasons why the industry is in a crisis today. But if you actually look at it on the other side around, it's also the perfect time for young entrepreneurs to disrupt this industry, to come across with ideas that completely knocks out the industry and says, you know what, nobody thought for a moment that online business is going to far supersede our personality and touch business. So the last week when I was talking to Stanford, I was talking to them on one very core principle. In hospitality, we always had three ethos: socialize, network, and ensure that you're with people. COVID just turned the head around and said, sorry, you can do none of these. So how do you adapt? The interesting question is, as entrepreneurs, what do you bring to the table that gets this adaptation process hastened? And I think successful entrepreneurs are the ones who actually bring about these disruptive ideas, where the whole sales process or a customer acceptance part of it is hastened to an extent where he or she would like to pay for that service and make use of those services. I think if you're talking about the new ways of working that has emerged, I think the classic example is what we are doing today. I think 2 years back, I was in IHM. I met all the wonderful students in IHM, and it was a fantastic experience speaking to everybody face to face. But it's very different today. Little did we know in 24 months that we're all going to be seeing each other on a screen and sharing our passion over a screen. So I guess, these are small adaptations that we would make, but the customer life cycle has fundamentally changed. And I think as entrepreneurs of future, what is quite important for us to understand is not what the customer's life cycle was, but what is the customer's life cycle going to be. And that going to be is a very interesting aspect of how fast you're able to position your product and services to be able to sell to them. So I guess I've got, like my other panelists, a few pointers from my side, nothing substantially different from what the two wonderful people have spoken about already. I will see if I'm just able to top up with what they've said. So I guess that idea for the entrepreneur, the conviction of his idea is extremely important. I guess that passion to say, I've got an idea that's going to set myself apart. Half the ideas remain ideas without passion. And if, the entrepreneurship journey can only happen if a very, very doable quotient of passion is added to that. Just ideas, brains, money, none of this is going to work. I think what really makes it work at the end of the day is passion. Like what Chef Chalapati Rao said, it's his passion to serve something on the table where people walk across and say, wow, this is something I really enjoy doing it. And that's very small wins that as an entrepreneur you get, but that is kind of your proof of concept as well. You're validating your concepts often. So as young entrepreneurs, what I would recommend is passion along with your ideas, and continue to validate your ideas to say, how far is it embraced in the market? Or as what Sirisha said, do we need to pivot? Do we need to anchor? Do we need to slightly adapt? These are all the journeys that you go across, because the idea that you come out with and the idea that takes you to success has to go through a process of deviation. If you're going to think that where you start and where you end are going to be exactly the same, you pick up any entrepreneur, he or she will say it was never the case. Never the case. So be prepared to pivot, be prepared to adapt, be prepared to let your egos out. Sometimes the most difficult person is yourself, because you believe in that idea so much that you don't see reality. You absolutely fail to gauge what is in front of you because your ego does not allow you to say that, you've got to pivot. So as entrepreneurs, my first and foremost thing is passion and zero egos. Come with a very open mind, be a sponge in your brain to say that you're going to throw yourself in water and sponge as much as you can. Your brain should work as sponges. And in a corporate world, it could be very, very rude to say this, but you're not running a rat race like a corporate world. You're not trying to grow one on top of another. You're growing people with you. And the fundamental difference here is you're allowing people to grow within you. Their growth is your growth. So never underestimate the power of team spirit. You just don't understand what value every brain could bring to your entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, have a very open thought in terms of, what people bring to you, what people talk to you about. All these critical aspects sometimes can hurt. But I guess we shouldn't take that to our heart and say that your idea is done. These are learning curves. These are checkpoints, as I call it. Validation, not validated. These are critical checkpoints in your businesses to say, which direction am I heading on to, and which direction should I pivot or angle across for my success. Apart from that, I guess with the Zillennials, and I think we've got close to about 7,000 Zillennials staying with us. That also explains why I have so much white hair. But apart from the white hair that I have, I must also say the Zillennials teach you a wonderful lesson. It's about the pain points that you solve. Even in food and beverage and hospitality industry, I think ask yourself a question when you're coming up with an idea as to what is the pain point that your idea solves. Is it going to solve a pain point of a customer, or is it just another product that's coming out of the window, just basically giving an option of an existing product? In most cases, the winners have always been somebody who's able to mitigate a pain process for a customer more effectively. Whether it's education, whether it's co-living, whether it's lodging, or whether it's software, whichever industry you go to, the higher number of pain points you're able to solve, the better chances of your success. Apart from that, I think there are a couple of other important points which has already been mentioned, but I'm going to mention it just because both my panelists were absolutely right in saying, never underestimate the importance of mentors. They're your traffic lights. They've seen the potholes. All they're trying to do is to show light to you, saying there is a pothole there. You don't have to fall into it. We are just advising you to avoid that pothole. And what generally happens when you start running is you're running through a forest not knowing where the next tree is. And half the times you bang on that tree and realize that you've hit your head. But mentors try and tell you the direction to take so that you're able to avoid these trees and run a better race than what you could have done without the mentors. So mentors, critical. Patience, Rome was not built in a day. Ritesh Agarwal did not become a billionaire in a day. None of us have been here doing what we are in a day. So I guess, if you want to do something in one day, lottery is the best chance. And you know what the chances are in a lottery. If there's one person in this whole group who's won a lottery, let me know. I'll come to you for my funding. But I guess that doesn't happen. But that's all it is. It's about hard work, perseverance, patience. It's all easier said than done. But in an entrepreneurship journey, it can be lonely a lot of times. It can be a lonely journey that you're going just because of the fact that you understand what you want to without a lot of people knowing what trouble you're going to. But stay calm, my friends. Absolutely stay calm. There's always a better way around, and enjoy the ride. I said, imagine the roller coaster and say, if there were no surprises and if you did not skip a heartbeat, you would not pay for that journey. You would never ever pay for the journey. That becomes a toy train to you. Would you like a toy train or would you like a roller coaster? Roller coaster is entrepreneurship. Toy train is a job. That's your decision now. So have fun. Have a lot of fun in entrepreneurship. Have fun along the way. Grow people, patience, and adapt. These are the few ethos that I'd like to pass. And I'm really delighted that I could assist IHM students in any small way we can. But again, I think the big thanks goes to Dr. Bose for having the guts and conviction to put a program such as this, that helps students from all walks. I mean, as Chalapati Rao just said, in our hostel lives, to meet our mentors or tutors, you had to wait in a queue. Forget about getting any help. But here it is, the top person of IHM getting a whole empowerment cell for entrepreneurs coming up. I think it's just a fabulous idea. Make use of it, work hard, and success is built over a period of time, just not in one day. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for joining with us today and sharing such a wonderful words, so inspiring. And definitely our students will be implementing when they come to you for getting counseling for entrepreneurship program. So thank you so much for joining with us for Sahas Hyderabad chapter launch. And moving to the next, I would like to introduce Mr. Kobi Krishna Reddy, a strategist, a business consultant, CEO of AITS team, which is African International Technology for Social Transformation, and also founder of What Next. He is the member of World Economy Forum, where he's sharing the table with the leading world entrepreneurs like Mr. Jack Ma and so on. So I would like to call Mr. Gopi to talk about the importance of the entrepreneurship skills and also few words about Sahas initiative by IHM. Over to you, Mr. Gopi.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Dr. Bose, first of all, congratulations. Most importantly, you have some nerve to start a program like this during COVID-19. So hats off to you. And, I just don't have any words to express, but congratulations to IHM team for pulling this off and also securing funding of 25 crores and 1 crore, which is, I think, when people are trying to protect the money that they have on today's date, truly, my heartfelt wishes to each one of you. Now, I don't know if I can teach anyone entrepreneurship. Like personally, I don't think it can be taught. It can only be experienced by a person by themselves. It's their journey, it's your own. But I think what I'll do is generic terms that really help me. Like one of the quotations that really helped me was by Winston Churchill. He said, "Success is traveling between failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." So, that quote summarizes everything for me. Like, are you going to fail? Yes. Are you going to get backstabbed? Of course. Are you going to be let down? Yes. As soon as you present your pitch deck to an investor, even Dr. Bose, though he declared that he has 1 crore of funding allocated, is he going to fund every single pitch that is coming to IHM? I don't think so. So what is important, in my opinion, is do not be mediocre. There is no room for mediocrity, especially after COVID-19. And, and stop copying ideas. Just because Swiggy is successful, don't try to make another Swiggy in another location, right? And so for me, another quote that really helps is what are the 2 ingredients that an entrepreneur needs is to seek out mysteries and the persistence to solve them. Like, how do you seek out mysteries? They're not there, tomorrow or day after. Like, so I always say, where do you see yourself 20 years down the line? And to be there 20 years down the line, where do you have to be 15 years down the line? To be there 15 years down the line, what should you have achieved 10 years down the line? To be there 10 years down the line, where should you be 5 years down the line? And what should you do today to get there? So this is something I truly believe, because most of the people start their journey by just looking at their feet. It doesn't work. I recently saw a movie, Ford versus Ferrari, where the father sits on a racing track and asks the son, do you see that finish line there? And the son waits for 3 seconds and says, yes, dad, I see it. And he says, not many can see that because it's not visible. It actually doesn't exist, right? It's an imaginary finish line that an entrepreneur has to see. So in my opinion, the most important thing is do not look at what's happening. Please do not focus on the Ritesh Agarwals or Mark Zuckerbergs or Jack Dorseys or Jack Ma's of the world. Just look at yourself. What are you good at? Are you a communicator? Are you a negotiator? Are you a salesperson? Are you a technologist? Are you really good at creating things, right? Are you someone who's really amazing? You don't have to be an amazing communicator. I hear people saying an entrepreneur should spend 95% of the time raising funds. I don't think so. You may have a co-founder for that, right? So the most important ability is to find a phenomenal core team, a complementing core team that helps you to achieve those unimaginable, invisible milestones. I always say it's a journey through darkness. Like it's a permanent darkness. So are you willing to walk that path without a torchlight? No one's going to put a torchlight for you. And that end of the tunnel, I don't know how long it is. So I don't think entrepreneurship can be taught. And please do not take it as a fancy career option that you have a business card that says founder and guys may be thinking, what do you do? Like, someone asks you in a bar, what do you do? I'm a founder. I have a company, I just raised $1 million. It's not funny. You're taking someone's money. You better be responsible. You better be serious. Otherwise, please do not take that funds. If you're just doing it for a fancy career option, do not do it. So, and now coming back to Sahas, I think it's a phenomenal initiative. It's a phenomenal challenging times. And that I think challenges every single one, especially students, to think wild, think absolutely wild. Don't think that Bowl Company has done really well, so let's start another Bowl Company. Or there are opportunities that are unseen. I would love to share just a few thoughts from my side, is that India has opportunities which are untapped. I think Chef Chalpati Rao and there are phenomenal mentors out there. They may agree with me. Is that what about the Indian highways that spread thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometers, and there is not a single motel that any one of us could comfortably live in? Would we? I don't think there is a single motel you could stop on the highway and stay comfortably in your family. While you look in America, you look in Europe, you have options. That's an opportunity that no one has solved till date. Stop solving things that have already been solved. I think that is one tip I would give. Stop copying an idea, stop copying a pitch deck, and be shameless to ask. Like my previous panel member said, you need a mentor. I believe in mentors more than anyone. I've had phenomenal mentors in my life, from chairmen and founders of conglomerates to advisors to presidents and prime ministers who not in my life. And I think every single thing that they have said have changed my life. So I'll share one of the things that one of my mentors said. Are you willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, right? We're always willing to do whatever it takes, but no matter what. So I'll switch to Hindi because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. So this mentor told me that कुछ नया start करने से पहले अपने आप को शेर जैसा महसूस करो, पर उसी शेर को काम खत्म करने के लिए कुत्ता बनने की औकात होनी चाहिए. So I'm so sorry. It may sound however, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Are you willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what? So Sahas, I think, is that word. If you do not have the courage to do no matter what, if you need to raise funds, are you willing to stay up no matter what? Everyone's making fun of the government, but I look at the positive side of the migrants. You have to give it to them that they're willing to walk 600 kilometers just to get to one destination. 600 kilometers, right? How many of us have the guts to do that? Now that's true Sahas. They have it to just reach to their motherland where they are comfortable, right? So do we have that level of nerves to travel that journey? That's entrepreneurship. It's absolutely dark. Sirisha or myself or Chalpati Rao Garu, anyone can say, thousand things about what entrepreneurship has been, but we all know it's a dark journey. You're all by yourself. There's no torchlight. You will hit the stone. You will have to evaluate with your intelligence, your instinct, and your intuition. No one's going to tell you when to jump out and when to jump in. You have to have the ability to adapt, learn, and don't go to these jargons like never give up. I find them at times overrated, because sometimes you have to give up on the attributes and nature that is not allowing you to excel. You have to give up on those things. If you do not give up on those things, you're not going to do well, period. You will realize after paying a price. I've done it. I've paid a price. I think I've paid a price yesterday. So I think we all have been paying price. So that is one thing about entrepreneurship, is that please do not look at successful people like Ritesh Agarwals or Zuckerbergs or Bill Gates. There are a million other entrepreneurs. They're doing million phenomenal things. They're just not known. So I always say there are lion in a jungle and there's a lion in a zoo. So all the celebrity entrepreneurs are the lions in a zoo. So it's like, oh, look at him. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. But there are lions in the jungle who are hunting, who are struggling, and still keeping the company afloat because they believe in what they do. So thank you very much. Sahas, phenomenal initiative. I would like to tell all the students, I think we're not important here, so it is for them. So please shamelessly reach out to me. I'm available. Just send out an email. I'm sure the faculty can tell you how to reach out to me, and we can schedule a call, anything you need. I've had phenomenal access to mentors and networks, and I believe in passing it to anyone. So we are not important, you are. So please create something that is magical. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gopi, for joining with us today and sharing a lot of insights. And thank you for the commitment. And quickly we move to the next person for the evening. I will take this privilege to call the dynamic and most energetic man on the planet Earth I ever seen, Mr. Abdullah Ahmed, the director of IHM Delhi and associate director of operations in IndiSmart Global Private Limited, the man who inspires and motivates many young hospitality aspirants by his words. I call Abdullah sir to talk few words about Sahas initiative by IIHM. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Dr. Bose. Thank you, everybody. And I was listening to all the panelists here. Absolutely impressed by all you've said. And I think everyone has given a message here. And before I start talking, I'll just quickly read out some important points that all of you have said. And they actually mean so much if you start interpreting them. Chef Rao was talking about burning desire to be successful, right? So there are days when money is there are days when money is not there. So these stories that I'm taking out of what all of you have said is so apt for today's students to understand that life is not a cakewalk. You need to come out of the drawing room where you're sitting. You need to start today. You need to think today, and you need to move out. You need to do something out of your life, and you don't need to just sit and keep listening. The fact is that things will change only when you start doing something. That's the point. Right? Adaptability is what Chef Rao talked about. Ms. Shirisha Gondi was talking about the roller coaster. Apparently, two of them talked about the roller coaster ride. Ms. Shirisha said roller coaster is without a safety belt. And Mr. Kumar Krishna said the roller coaster goes in all directions. So it's like you're like a ball in a cage and you're being rolled like this. And that's exactly what business is all about. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. It's not 9 to 6. It's not easy. It's not air-conditioned cars. It's not air-conditioned office. It's not picking up your mobile and getting your business done. It's about deciding to do something, like, for example, Ms. Shrisha said, don't be emotionally attached. Again, adaptability was mentioned about Mr. Kumar Krishna. Zero ego, very important. I think that is what we've been teaching, zero ego. You need to start. You don't really need to think what's going to happen. Just go ahead and do it, and of course, Mr. Gopi Krishna Reddy was saying that entrepreneurship has to be experienced and imagine a finish line and go for it. So, with all these stories and all these words of wisdom that have been coming, guys, we need to decide that we need to now get into it. We need to decide that, yes, we need to do it, because this is the time to execute and try. Till the time we don't try, nothing's going to happen. Please understand that, if we talk about reality, we are all into hospitality. half of us have got jobs, half of us, were about to get campus placements when this COVID-19 came into the picture and everything got postponed, right? So the faster we understand the reality, the better it is. At this point in time, hospitality will open up by about September as far as recruitments are concerned, which possibly we see that it will not start immediately. Though some organizations are planning to start and honor their recruitments by July or August, but I think September, October is a good time where we can look at it. Again, that's subjective to how COVID-19 goes forward and what is the scenario. Now, having said that, what this means is that, we've got cool 4 months right now in front of us to experiment with ourselves. We are already in June, we've got July, August, September, October. September, October, November, we are looking at things to normalize. That's what we feel, and we'll be happy if it happens faster. But I think we've got cool 4 months to do. Now, you've been given education for the 3 years. You've been taught everything. You've been given all the entrepreneurship lessons. You've been told what to do, how to do. You've been told to go out and experiment. And now is the time to do that. We never thought when we were teaching about entrepreneurship that it'll come so early. We have never thought COVID-19 will happen. Now take it as an opportunity. You've got 4 months here. Now, we're not saying that, okay, you leave the opportunity, you leave the thought of job. No, we're not saying that. We're committing ourselves to the fact that once, the industry opens up, we are there with you walking hand in hand, and we'll make sure that all of you, inshallah, get placed. But at this point in time, what you're going to do is that you're going to start and at least try. At the most, what will happen? You will fail. At the most, right? But till the time you don't try, nothing's going to happen. So all of you need to think what you can do, what you're good at, and then start planning. It's not like, Mr. Gopi Krishna was saying that you stop copying things. So the best thing to do is to identify what your hobby is. If you get confused how to get an idea or what to do, there's so many things to do. Just imagine just think what your hobby is and try to create a business model out of it. Think what your hobby is and how you can create, and then get into it. Not necessarily that you need to be into hospitality only. No, entrepreneurship can be of anything. As the discussion was, and it is very rightly said, that Ritesh Agarwal was not from hospitality industry, but he did come into hospitality. Same way, you from the industry, you studied about the industry, but there is no rule that says that you'll only go into hospitality as an entrepreneurship. You can try something else as well. So far, you try. That's important. You've got 4 months. Try it out. At the most, what will happen? You never know. 5 years down the line, you might be sitting and thinking that these 4 months were the best things that could ever happen, because you could be the millionaire of the next millennium or of the next decade. You never know where these 4 months take you. So there is nothing that stops you from trying. Anyway, you're sitting at home till about August, September, there's nothing much action happening. So my point is, you should not be sitting at home. You should be moving out. Battleships are the safest on the harbor, but that's not what they're built for. They're built to go out in the high seas. They're built to go and fight. And that's what you got to do. You got to go and try that 4 months and not sit at home. Whatever that you think you can, go ahead and try. It'll be good if you fail, but because you will learn from that failure. As we were discussing just about 10 minutes back, that failures they only teaches you how to carry on. That's it. It's, as Dr. Bose was saying, it's not about failing. It's about how fast you get up after failing. That's what the difference is. That's what matters. That's how you will succeed, and that's what life is all about. So I think this is a golden opportunity for all of you to try at least. Otherwise, you would have gone into that rat race. Otherwise, you would have gone into that, that toy train that Mr. Krishna was talking about. You would go into the toy train. If you don't want to get into the toy train and you want to get into, roller coaster, then it's time now that you get into it and at least take a ride. Take one roller coaster ride. There's no harm. If you don't like it, come out of it. No problems. The toy train is waiting on the next station, and we'll help you board it. Trust me. But there's no harm, because if that roller coaster comes with a belt and takes you up and down and then wherever you go, but if you settle yourself in that roller coaster, trust me, you could be the next millionaire of this decade. So possibly 5 years down the line, you might be addressing some students like these, telling them your stories, how you started 5 years back and you ended up securing 100 crores of corpus in about 5 years, 6 years. You never know where life takes you. Then there are some amazing stories that have happened. All the businesses in the last 200 years that have opened, have not opened because somebody dreamed and it happened. They opened because there was some madness behind it. And that is why those businesses established. That is why those businesses happened. The biggest story that we've always read when we came into first year was of Mr. PRS Oberoi, how he started. So it is not that somebody is going to come and gift it to you. You got to work towards it. You want to walk towards it. Until the time you keep sitting in that drawing room of yours, nothing's going to happen. Till the time you keep watching movies, nothing's going to happen. You have to get out at 10 o'clock in the morning, doing something, planning something, discussing something. Plan, even if you're not doing, at least sit, become friends that live nearby. See how you can collaborate. The other day, we were chatting and Dr. Bose was sharing how Wow Momos have collaborated with Cafe Coffee Day. It's a day of collaboration. This is the time of collaborating. Nobody's going to Wow Momos to have momos on the counter. But they have collaborated with Cafe Coffee Day because they feel that anytime you buy a combo in a Cafe Coffee Day, you will be served with a Wow Momo. So it's all about collaboration. So you can also think 2-3 of your friends who live nearby and you can collaborate and you can do so many things. Just the other day, yesterday, in fact, in one of the other sessions I was sharing, one of your alumni has decided, he was in Patna. He lives in Patna. He was there. And last week, he said, I was getting bored. I went to 2 hospitals and I said that I'll give you home cooked food in lunch and dinner if you have orders. And he gave his numbers and he's doing about 10, 11 lunches a day, which is cool to start off with. In about 6 days, 7 days. I mean, I was speaking to him 3 days back. So he said, so I started last week. So I'm doing about 12, 13 food lunch orders every day in Patna. Where he lives by, there's a hospital where he's gone because there are a lot of patients there. So he's not going to restaurants to sell his food. He's used his brain. He's gone to where the fish is. So he's fishing where the fish is. And the fishes are in the hospital. Sorry to use that term, but in business terms, he's actually going where the market is. So he's going to people because they're sitting in the hospital wanting to eat home-cooked food, but they're being forced to buy that canteen food. So he went that I live nearby, it's a home-cooked food, 2 types of meals I'm serving, 65 rupees and 40 rupees, whatever you want. And he says he gets orders about 10 to 12 or 13 orders a day, which is cool. And this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you, that you need to come out of that comfort level. You need to come out, and it's okay if you fail. You got 4 months, don't worry. If you fall down or if you don't like the roller coaster, toy train is just standing next station. We'll help you board, no problems. But that's exactly what you need to do. And this corpus fund of 1 crore is only a commitment from IIHM and from Dr. Bose that we're there behind. We're there to assist you. Genuinely, we're there behind to assist you and to excite you, to give you a little bit of funding, to promote you. You know, just in case you want to go ahead and there is a little bit of a fund crunch, we'll chip in, don't worry. But you need to present your ideas. You need to deliberate. You need to discuss. And that's exactly why this, the team is there and the team is going to guide you, help you. And you're very fortunate that you've come in at a time when all this team, all the team members are there. Mr. Rao, Ms. Shirisha, Mr. Krishna Kumar, Mr. Gopi Krishna Reddy. I mean, you're very fortunate to speak to people of such repute. With just passing out in a 3rd year, possibly students don't get an opportunity to speak to entrepreneurs like this, and you're very, very fortunate to listen to entrepreneurs like these, and of course having the commitment to guide you. I think you guys are very fortunate, and you need to just come out of it. So all I'm saying is, for the next 4 months, do something. Don't sit at home. Even if you're confused what to do, just think what your hobby is and go ahead and make something out of that hobby and put a business model to your hobby. And I'm sure, you'll come out victorious. So I think start thinking. The only thing in the end I'll say is start thinking, discuss with people and present your idea. You've got the funding, you've got the board to listen to you, you've got the people to guide you. So what's stopping you? There's nothing. All you got to do is dream. That's it. Dream and discuss and then execute. So that's about it from my end. Thank you, everybody. Wish you all the best. Thank you to all the panelists. Lovely to speak to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Bose. And over to our champion, Mr. Emmanuel. Over to you, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, sir, for the energetic words. Thank you so much. And quickly, we are moving to the next person. Let me put this way that the most stylish man, Mr. Dinesh Kumar, the MD and CEO on the Wok restaurant and the founder of Hospitality Navigator. A man with 23 years experience in hospitality industry and an entrepreneur by heart. student counselor, and hospitality advisor. So I call Mr. Dinesh for a few words about Sahas. Over to you, Mr. Dinesh.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Emmanuel, Director IIHM Hyderabad, for making me a part of this journey. And a lot of appreciation to Team IIHM for this wonderful initiative of starting Sahas. And let me tell you, the Sahas title is very apt for this journey. And this is, I'm here to share my own experience because I was an employee of IIHM Hyderabad for 15 years. Before that, I had 5 years of experience in the industry. But always I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But when I have learned, when I have become part of one organization called the National Entrepreneurship Network, where I have become the entrepreneurship educator, when I was dealing with these young people, young brains in IIHM Hyderabad, we cell called Zeal, where we used to organize a lot of workshops like idea generation workshops, idea evaluation workshops, like how you can plan, your business, all the steps, how you can create a product, how you can design it. All these workshops and seminars we used to conduct there. But what I observed that these young brains have a lot of potential. They are really, very, very creative. They need that environment which can, excite them and which can just be there with them to just, back them. And I think it is a very, very great initiative here by IIHM. And when I was faculty in IIHM Hyderabad, it was very easy life, for me, like 9 to 5 job. And then after that, all the time with family, then weekends off, and a lot of vacation, and everything was very, very smooth, very relaxing. But that is not that life. I actually, it was great. I will not say it is not great, but something was there that I used to feel that I want more from my life and I can do something. I think Chalapati Rao will be agree with me. Whenever I had vacation, I used to volunteer for vocational training to all, any 5-star hotel or any restaurant. Even I worked with the Chalapati also in Bukhara kitchen for, I think, 15 days training. And that time I came to know that he's a wonderful man and he's really a food designer. The way he claims to be, I really vouch for that. He's a wonderful man. And when in 2015, when I got very much inspired by all this learning, I always used to think that I'm teaching entrepreneurship, but let me also do something with this knowledge. So I took the decision to leave IIHM Hyderabad after 15 years and I started my company. It is a hotel consultancy and training company called Hospitality Navigator. And I mentored almost 50 ventures across India to be, most of them are successful and doing good business. They become good brand. And in 2018, I have started my own restaurant, which was my long time dream, on the Vogue restaurant in High Tech City. But yes, as all the eminent panelists said, that this journey is not as easy as it looks. It is really a roller coaster. I again repeat it. But now the good news is I'm here to share the good news. The good news is that now tools are available, people are available which can mentor you. Every tool is available. You can, every step you can learn, and you can use those tools to make your journey very easy. And you can save a lot of your time. But what I want to share here is that you are the center point of your business. Whatever your intention, it flows in your business. What is your energy, it flows in your business. Whatever you are, it will be replicated, it will be seen, it will be emerging out of your business. So my dear friends, I would like to say that whenever you are starting, you are coming up with any idea, check your intention. And if intention is to help somebody in this world, that intention will definitely help you create a good business. It may be, I'm not saying it may be like in terms of service, it may be in terms of any product. But if you are solving the problem or facilitating somebody or helping somebody, and that is your product and service, definitely money will be a byproduct. the luxury and everything will follow. But if we passionately, and one more point I would like to mention, the bigger the problem you solve, more the money you earn, bigger the business you make. With these points, I offer myself as a facilitator, and I wherever IIHM would like to organize any workshop like idea generation workshops or idea evaluation workshops or business plan workshops, I would like to offer my services. Thank you very much for making me part of this wonderful journey. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dinesh, for the lovely words. And definitely, we will need all your counseling, all your help and guidance for our students. So moving to the next, we have Mr. Gopi Bailapulla, the CEO of Culinary Lounge, which is a culinary workshop and the place they do a lot of culinary skills. A software engineer who got fascinated by hospitality industry and turned into an entrepreneur. Mr. Gopi, why don't you share what was the driving factor which made you to switch from engineering to hospitality, and also a few words about Sahas. Over to you, Mr. Gopi.
Okay. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for a lovely introduction, and very happy to see this initiative from IIHM. This was a dream for myself. I should say that always I used to, whenever I meet educational institute founders or principals, always my question was, why aren't we focusing on entrepreneurship? Because entrepreneurship is not a subject for me. It actually changes someone's, I mean, whoever is trying it, it changes our perspective. Because it is not a talent for sure. It is an attitude which we will adopt once we are into entrepreneurship. As you said, I was with Oracle Corporation. I worked for 10 years. I had a chance to leave to US, and in 2013, my pay was around $1.5 lakh per annum. So by this time, it is a different life altogether. But why I choose and what was my driving factor is, I only love few things in life. Like I love people a lot. I love cooking and I love food a lot. I love to read books. So definitely when I want to try something out of my regular job, which is too comfortable for me at that point of time, it was like a straight line. So I wanted to try something in life, but I always knew that whatever I'm trying, I should be so excited that even in the, nobody should be behind me, right? Being an entrepreneur, you have to drive yourself. You should be jumping out of your bed every day morning to do what you love. That only comes if you love that so much, if you believe in it so much. So all these three things were very close. So I choose food industry, the hospitality industry, because that is something which I always love to get into. In fact, I should say that I was supposed to be a chef. Being an Andhra family, my dad always had a pride to see me as an engineer. So I went to Madras University. I should say that I have fulfilled his dream of graduating an engineer, and then got into Oracle Corporation. But still, after 10 years, my heart was not there. So I wanted to do something on my own. And I know that food is something which I love, and people are somebody whom I love a lot. All the earlier panelists spoke a lot about entrepreneurship, and I respect. I mean, I should say 90% of what I thought of speaking, it is great to hear from them, because they have covered maximum. I think by the time it is 5:30, I know you guys might have been already tired. So I don't want to give much gyan, but one thing is for sure, as I said, this is the greatest opportunity ever as a student you get, because outside, once you step out, nobody's going to pat you like what IIHM is actually handling and trying to do this. So try out this, and there is a great ecosystem out there, and IIHM is trying to build a series of mentors who can actually help you. So we all can support you once you get something as a conviction that yes, I have to try out something. So Dr. Bose and team is doing really great, and this Sahas program really excited me when Ranjana was telling. So we are all here to support you, and everything what Chalapathi Garu said, Gopi Garu said, and Sirisha said, it's all true. Like, it's not a fun game. It is a very serious game. It is a very dark journey, alone journey. But if you are committed and if you are persistent to crack this, I think nothing like that. This will teach you a lot. Entrepreneurship, I don't know about success and failures because I never count it, because I always, for me, trying is the best thing than remaining as not trying. So don't worry about success and failures. This journey itself will teach you a lot of things. So brilliant opportunities to try out there. Just now, Mr. Dinesh also said that there is a lot of opportunities at his space too. So every one of us are willing to share our strengths, our networks, our spaces out there to support you to try entrepreneurship. So most of the Hyderabad students know where the Culinary Lounge is, and they have the numbers of mine. So please approach me and also other panelists. And IHM anyway, Emmanuel and the staff will be anyway sharing all the details with you guys. So we're all here to support you guys. And once again, really, I'm very, very happy what IHM has done today to start an entrepreneurial cell. This will definitely change students' perspective. So this is a great idea, I should say. Thank you once again. Congratulate Dr. Bose and the team, sir. So nothing from my side more. Everything has been covered. So I'll take off, and I'll be available on my email and phone and WhatsApp. So thank you very much for again giving me opportunity to mentor these young minds. And I should say, apart from me, most of my team are youngsters. I'm the older one in the team. So everyone is an youngster. I love to work with youngsters. So I love to support youngsters. So thank you so much, Emmanuel, for giving the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gopi, for joining with us today. And thank you so much for the commitment for Sahas. And as we have come to the end of the session of Sahas Hyderabad Lunch, I express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Bose, who always thinks innovative and driving us in the right way where we have to go. And thank you so much, sir, for launching Sahas Hyderabad. And I thank all the advisory board members and guest speakers and the directors of other campuses for making it success. Before I finish, I would like to call Dr. Bose for the final words. Over to you, Dr. Bose.
Yeah, thanks, Emmanuel. I'd like to thank everybody actually for their commitment, for their time. And it was a lovely, lovely session. We all learned from each other. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about. And it's really fun. So apart from all the pillars that we discussed from each one of the entrepreneurs out here, I'll just like to add what our panelists said, that have fun, and it's going to be very exciting. I think that it's a great honor, pleasure for me to be with all of you. And once again, the most heartfelt thanks to all the advisory board member. We would count on your time and your experience and your wisdom, and to all the students and all the members of our IHM team Hyderabad. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening ahead. Thank you. This is Dr. Bose signing off from IIHM Kolkata campus. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I thank all the faculty team and students of IHM Hyderabad for joining with us today. Sahas Hyderabad will make wonders for sure in creating successful entrepreneurs in future. Signing off from IHM Career Studio, Hyderabad. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.